Within the ancient order of the Harbingers, every member knows two prophecies, two eventualities, one of peace and one of doom. Only one of these foretellings may prove true, but not even the gods know which. And so the Harbingers fight, seeking always to stand against the darkness and be heralds of the times of peace. Yet always the shadow lurks. Doom is waiting, biding its time, assured of its own inevitability, prowling like a great cat ready to strike, hanging from above like a blade on a thread. Doom, they tell themselves. Doom is coming, and only they may stop it. But to fight an enemy, you must know them. And so they recite the prophecy of doom.
I shall not see a world that will be dear to me. Summer without flowers, cows without milk, folk without conscience, warriors not brave.
Conquests without a king.
Woods without fruit, fishless seas. Multitudes of storms.
Bad judgments by old men, false precedents of the lawgivers. Forts barren of structures, hollow.
A stronghold coming from mistakes, a devastated time. An excess of lords, but too many homeless.
Joy in evil, covered in sorrow. Everyone a betrayer, each child a robber. Oh, evil time. Son will deceive father, daughter will deceive mother.
Ahoy and welcome everybody. Welcome to Harbingers. We return to the darker sides of the seas of Damaris here on Harbies. I'm joined as always by these very lovely individuals, and I am Derek Sword, use he, him pronouns. I am your GM, your game master, and also your GC, your guiding compass as we navigate these dark seas of Damaris as the goth kids of the Horizons Call spinoff deal with some of the more upsetting missions that the Horizons Call crew, they're just not ready for, and God knows they never will be. I want to have these lovely people say more about themselves, and then we're going to do a little recap and dive right into things. Thank you for sticking around as we hammered out some tech issues.
Not bad.
So hey, no apologies needed. We can't help tech issues. They're frustrating, and I'm sure to you more than anyone else, because we've all been there. And yeah, I'm glad we got them figured out. But yeah, thank you to you for sticking around, and thank you to this wonderful cast for being so supportive of hanging around for that. Our plan right now is to wrap up at our normal time, so we're gonna get right into the meat of things. But let's go ahead and go around. So let's see, starting us out, Abhishek.
Hi everyone, my name is Abhishek Matange. He and pronouns. I will be playing our lovely badass Anubite warrior, Anubite monk, warrior of the living weapon, Anubia. She's ready to kick some ass. Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Fantastic. Next up, I believe, is Rak.
All right. Hello everyone. I'm Rakolai, or Rakolai. No order of preference how you pronounce it. I'm just glad you're here. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Tonight I am your local Scuff King. Had some audio issues beforehand, but thankfully the presence of our champion Jen scared them straight. And tonight I'll be reprising my role as everybody's favorite Kenku Croak. And here's to hoping that we can beat the taxman.
Yeah, absolutely. You presume it's a fight. You know, taxes are important to infrastructure, even if the infrastructure is based on a currency of blood. Next up is Alex.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Alex, and tonight I will be playing Desiree, the Echo Knight fighter, who is attempting to join the hallowed ranks of the tax collectors.
See, not necessarily a fight. You can just, if you can't beat him, join him. Next up is LD.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lady Dame, or LD, and I am playing Fiach of the Rowan, who did nothing wrong and has not made a terrible choice, never made a terrible choice in her life. It's fine. She's our resident harpy warlock of the Morrigan. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a weird form. It's cool. Don't worry about it.
That was like 2 truths and a lie as a character intro, which was really interesting to hear.
Thank you.
Last but absolutely not least, we have Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena. I use she, her pronouns. I am playing your very tired paladin who now has to get a baby leash. Saskia. I forgot her name for a hot second. I was so worried about Renwick. Yeah, that's all I got.
That's fair. He deserves to be worried about. Thank you again for joining us for Harbingers, and I'm Jarek Sword. I use he, him pronouns. Alex, you have the recap for this week, so whenever you are ready, the floor is yours.
Indeed, I do. So, last week on Harbingers, after picking up Renwick from the site of a nautical massacre, the crew sank the Perseverance and sailed aboard the Halcyon to Esperanza, where Haruspex Moira is presumed to be located. While rowing towards the docks on longboats, we encountered a kobold vessel and had a brief unsettling conversation with Dockmaster Clive. From there, the party split. Croak and Fiach headed inland to the jungle, while Saskia, Anubia, and Desiree entered the Owl Light Inn with the beginnings of a plan to infiltrate the keep of Captain Kragan Bloodbeard Adoras. While in the tavern, we spoke with the barkeep to confirm that the island is indeed ruled by vampires who collect a nightly tax in blood, and we additionally had an enlightening conversation with the kobold captain Nuxak. Finally, from the jungle, Croak and Fiach fought off feral vampires before the fog rolled in, heralding the arrival of the island's tax collectors.
There we go. Didn't want to click over. Wonderful job. Please enjoy your point of inspiration. All right. Let's get back into it. So, the fog has started to roll into the town of Esperanza with it. Fiach and Croak, both perched in a tree, hidden just beyond the cusp of where the jungle really starts to encroach. You have seen this carriage, this stagecoach of sorts, styled rather elegantly, with a sort of gothic twinge to it. Even in this darkness, which is very tough to see with neither of you really having dark vision, you can still see that the light coming from the ambient light that is still coming from what has to be a setting sun over this otherwise stormy sky is still it's casting off of this metallic exterior, where all of this filigree, all of these designs have been intricately laid into the exterior. And as you look at the shape of this thing, it almost has the style of both a stagecoach, a carriage, a hearse, even in some ways, with a single driver and 4 draft horses that are pulling it. And it's a strange shape to it, the carriage itself. On either side, there are 6 in total armored soldiers carrying glaives that are walking alongside. And you can also see that there is a single individual who stands a little bit taller than some of the armored soldiers, who is dressed in like more of a studded leather, very short cropped hair, darker skin, and he is the one who stopped to look at what would have been tracks that had been left by your little scuffle, but didn't look up and did move on with the carriage. So as you all see this coming in, and as night is quickly setting over the town of Esperanza, what would you two like to do?
I don't know about you, Croak, but I think we better hotfoot it back to the inn and the others. I mean, as quietly as we possibly can.
Croak will nod. If I look at this individual wearing the studded leather, do they have a beard?
Yeah, I would say that there's a little bit of facial hair. It's not like a wizard beard by any means, but yeah, they are human. Let's say, as far as you can tell, there's no point to their ears. Their features are, I mean, maybe you would guess mid-30s. So like a few creases here and there, but tall in stature, muscular. Yeah.
Okay. Can I make out like what color their hair is?
I would say probably black is what we're going with here. Yeah.
So I would not get the feeling that this would be Bloodbeard.
No, you would. I wouldn't necessarily attribute that to them. You're still not sure whether Bloodbeard is named for perhaps getting blood in his beard or for having a red beard. Although you've been around pirates here and there, you know it's probably a little bit of column A, column B. But this individual does not give off the stature of necessarily a great pirate lord. He certainly isn't dressed in the way that you've met a lot of the fancier pirates who wear their heavy coats and their hats. This gentleman is dressed much more simply and which a lot more utility to his style of dress.
Okay. In that case, I will nod to Fiach and then steeple my the tips of my wings together, and then hold two down, and then make like hopping motions. Kind of pointing down at the rooftops of the town.
I mean, I can just fly straight there myself. If we think that's better, if I fly and you're doing your little hoppy thing by rooftop.
Croak thinks and then nods. He'll hold his wings out to like indicate that he would like to hitch a ride down.
Sure. Although I do, and I think ideally we're doing this very quietly, and also after they had passed far enough away. I think she'll help Croak down, and then fly as stealthily as possible back to where I think we had an idea of where the Owlite Inn is. I can't remember. We
walked past it. Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to go. I would probably follow Croak's lead. In this case, probably not going as the crow flies back to the inn, because I assume that's how the carriage is going. Trying to avoid notice in the sky above the carriage, I guess.
Sure.
Basically back to the Allied Inn as stealthily as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we would travel like perpendicular.
Yeah.
Them.
Okay, so...
and they may have other stops, the tax collectors, if they collect from everybody every night,
It's true. They also need to pass through the roadways where you are traveling, as you described, as well as a harpy flies.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead. Croak is both baggage, but also is like inherently good at stealth. So let's do a stealth roll with advantage, as Croak might be able to coach you a little bit on the best tactics, but also doesn't have a ton of control over your necessary flight pattern.
Right. Stealth with advantage. Ooh, those are both real good numbers. But I will take that 21.
21 is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, we'll roll just in case. But I don't see myself being at 21. Let's find out. Nah, we don't beat a 21 on this one. Okay. You both are able to fly quietly, aided significantly by the fact that the sun is quickly setting, and there doesn't seem to be... There are, lanterns, torches that are being lit throughout the town, but as the fog rolls in, the dampness that comes with it, and even as you're flying through the air, the fog is obscuring anyone that could look up and see you all. And even as you're looking down, you can see rooftops, but it's increasingly more difficult to see anyone that might be walking along the streets. Nevertheless, you have a pretty good idea of where you're headed, and the Owl Light Inn actually is one of the most well-lit places still where the fog has not reached, so it's easy for you to determine where that is. But yeah, there's a dampness to everything, and you travel quietly, and as you do, it's just after you start to reach where the border of the town is that you start to hear bells ringing throughout the town. Not necessarily warning bells, but I guess they're not alarm bells, but they are. It's not like we're under attack, but it is kind of like it's the same bells you would hear in a small prairie town when it was time to go to chapel. So you can hear that there are just bells ringing at the different corners of the town, just to alert the townspeople, and you're pretty easily able to put together that it is an indicator that the tax collectors have arrived in town. But we can say that you make it to the Owl Light Inn with some decent success. You can see that people are either, most people are quickly moving inside at this point. You reach, they described it as a 2-story building. So you may arrive on the roof or on the ground floor, but as you arrive, what would you two like to do?
I think, if we can... my thought is that we land behind the building and then, walk around the front like we're just strolling in, oh, yes, we've been here the whole time sort of situation.
Sure. You do see that the back of the building butts up against the river that the waterfall feeds out, but there's like a back walkway, almost like a porch. So you may absolutely land back there and walk out. There's green lanterns that light the boardwalk path.
We were having a smoke in the alleyway or something.
For sure.
Late night, partaking of something. Who knows? Something like that.
Yeah, I think as we get closer, Croak might try to look at the windows, see if he can see any familiar shapes, silhouetted in lamplight.
Sure. In that case, let's actually jump over to the other half of your crew. So for Desiree, Saskia, Anubia, as night is beginning to fall, you have 2 rooms that are provided to you. Renwick still hanging around with you. A couple of you have been hit on by a kobold captain. What all have you been doing in this time, and where would we find you as you hear these bells ringing as night is beginning to fall on Esperanza?
I am sticking close to Renwick, but I don't necessarily have anything to do while we're waiting past that.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm just following Desidee's lead here mostly.
I feel like Anubia would probably just be waiting in the room after their whole, drink and food session after getting into the inn. I think it might just be laying low in the room for now. And then, obviously, all the bells of the commotion would probably start. So, assume there at least.
Yeah, the rooms are on the 2nd floor. They do have 1 large bed each, a wardrobe, a mirror. They both also have large windows as well as doors that lead into the inner hallway, but also doors that lead out onto a porch. What am I thinking? A balcony. So there is a balcony for each of the rooms as well that looks out onto the river or out onto the ocean itself, out onto the bay. So yours is let's see. Yours is the one that faces inwards towards the island, in towards the river. So, yeah, as you hear the bells ringing, ears perk up. Desiree, what would you be up to?
I think I would be posted up in a room, sharpening weapons, and just preparing for the inevitable social interaction and the potential armed combat that may follow.
Great. So, yeah, as the bells are ringing, Renwick at least has gone to Saskia. I'm going to grab a table downstairs if you would like to join me. I'm not really sure what to do with myself right now.
Of course. I will gesture him to go, pick whatever table he likes. I'll follow him.
So you do find, please.
Are we all in the same room?
I don't think so.
That's what I was going to ask. Is you have two rooms, so I was gonna ask once we got kind of everybody together how you wanted to divvy that particularly up. But I, in my head at least, Anubia and Desiree were in separate rooms. But if you would like to be in the same one, perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think last session we did. Saskia was staying with Renwick to keep an eye on him, which left Anubia and Desiree in the same room.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So. Yeah, in that case, Saskia and Renwick are sitting downstairs at a table by the window. Renwick is nervously shelling peanuts that he has found in a bowl, and is he's just shelling them and puts the peanut back into the bowl itself and shells another one. It's just like something to do with his hands. But, Rack, to your question, Croak, walking by the window, would see the shape of Saskia and Renwick sitting at a table by the window. So what would you all like to do?
I mean, I think we're going inside.
Okay.
If we're trying to lie low here and not cause any trouble, I think we need to join the rest of the group. We've already caused enough trouble as it is. So.
At
least I think that's what Fiach is planning.
Croak will nod along. Can he see any of our fellow harbingers in their room, or
they're on the second floor? You all described that you were on the first floor, so not from where you are.
Okay.
But like I said, you do at least see Saskia and Renwick sitting at a table to the window. So going inside then.
Just meet
Saskia,
up with our friends.
Yeah. See Fiach, see Croak coming back inside. And again, the bells have just started to ring as well. So you would also see Lyskander, the Alafi, the snake person, who is, you see his coiled body kind of tense as he looks to you as you walk in. The bar is closed. We can drink when all of this is over.
Oh, they're with me.
Yes. Sorry, we were just meeting our friends here.
That is fine. I would very much prefer that the tax collectors not come to my door. If you all could, please go to the town square. Please go to where the fountain is. That is where. If you could please go. And he also looks to the other patrons of the bar, the few that are left here, as most have shuffled out at this point. But there is the kind of grumpy-looking half-dwarf, which gave a stink eye to Saskia earlier. And he looks and he says, "Mr. Ham, I mean you too. You can't go another night without... You have to go."
Oh, we have to go to them.
They will come here if they have to, but I would very much prefer that not be the case.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want to trouble your fine establishment. Saskia, where are our friends?
Upstairs.
Are they already? Oh, should we grab them?
Of course.
Make sure that we Again, don't give our lovely host. I'm sorry. Did you all get rooms? So you all have rooms already, Saskia?
Yes.
All right. Is there enough room for all of us? Wouldn't want it to be crowded.
Honestly, I don't remember how many rooms we got.
We got 2 because it was
two.
the 4 of us who came in at the end.
Right.
So,
Well,
2.
I think we can resolve this. I mean, he's not gonna. I'll go get the others.
Oh, okay, great.
Go upstairs. I'll get them.
Reunited then. Desiree with sharpened weapons.
So good.
Anubia with sharpened ears. Liskander has insisted that you all go to meet the tax collectors. Yes, yeah, the fountain. Anything you all would like to do, or are we heading straight there?
Well, I'm just double. I mean, I assume that we would like to. I'm just checking in with our friends once they come down. I was told just now that we are expected to go to the tax collectors.
I thought they'd be coming here, but sounds easy enough.
Apparently, our delightful host is not too fond of that idea.
Very well. Let's not inconvenience him.
All right.
agreed.
So, how was your evening?
Insightful, to an extent. We expected this.
Learn anything we should know about?
Not yet. Were we together when I mentioned my plan, or?
No.
Oh.
Well, actually, no. You did mention that you were. Actually, now I don't remember.
So,
yes,
Desiree
we were
had
together.
a conversation with Fia one-on-one, a lot about, like, questioning the fate of the Morrigan and being brought back. And it was kind of hinted towards, but the much more blatant statement of considering vampirism, at least as a tactic to try to get in with the tax collectors, was said after you all had made it to the inn and had broken off.
Right. Yeah, the conversation about joining the tax collectors, I think the conversation about the wouldn't mind becoming a vampire was without. There were two.
Yeah, I think you had already split off from us at that point.
Then,
yeah.
As we approach the town square in a hushed voice, I have an idea for how to infiltrate the castle. If one or more of us could join the ranks of the tax collectors, I believe it would be possible. Maybe.
I mean, it's not. I don't know if it's a good idea, but it's certainly more of an idea than we have at the moment.
I don't like our chances trying to fight our way in.
I don't either. Well, and not have Moira stay alive.
Exactly. And I don't know that we would be able to sneak our way past this particular crowd.
No. I will say, Croak and I stumbled upon some those things that they had meant that we were told were in the jungle are definitely in the jungle.
Yeah. Croak will hold his wing in front of him and then kind of crouch down and like put the ends of his wings on the floor and like kind of like scamper around on all fours.
God, that's accurate. Yeah, that. Many of them, and not very far outside the gates.
That's quite concerning.
Yeah. We were fine. We totally were not at all making poor decisions, so it was totally fine.
Cock diver from Anubia at that.
Croak will draw his short sword, showing off the bloodstains still on it from the feral vampire he had slayed.
Yeah, Croak was amazing.
He'll draw
Isn't he always?
feather across his neck and then hold up that finger, then indicating he'll take his cloak off, place it on the floor, and then drop back down on all fours, and pantomime dragging the cloak across the floor.
Continuing to walk through town, it is becoming more and more difficult to see what is in the near distance in front of you as the fog has rolled in properly. It's thick enough to cut with a knife, not literally, although I suppose you could try to roll for it. It's a pretty high AC. You pass through and see that there are other people who are now leaving these establishments, these homes, walking out. Just commoners, shopkeepers, some people dressed a little bit finer than others, but all of them seemingly just citizens of Esperanza who are walking of their own volition. There doesn't seem to be any magical coercion.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, they're not shambling. There's not a lot of joy to their walk. There's no skipping, but yeah, you can see that it's also all adults. As well. You don't see any children walking about. But yeah,
do they seem
all humans.
scared? Do they seem like not a lot of joy, but do they seem apprehensive, or does this feel like? Do they have that attitude of like, gotta go to work again? I gotta go to the tech. That like, that attitude. What's
your passive insight?
My passive insight is only a 12.
I think with a 12, just kind of like gazing around, if you want to roll higher than or 4 higher than that, you absolutely may.
I just very
go for
curious. It's where is that? It's a 14 instead of a 12.
Okay. Slight improvement to that. So what you would have noticed with the 12 is that they are. There seems to be a level of duty to this, of just like, oh, here's another night. With the 14, you can see that there are a few people that do have a little more concern to their body language, a little more like fidgeting with their hands or the holding themselves. This is a jungle environment. It's not that cold, and yet you see some people who are shivering, holding themselves a little more tightly, and you kind of see that this is more of like self-soothing behavior than necessarily trying to make themselves feel warmer. But it's not everyone. There's just every now and then you'll see a few people who are a little more concerned than others, and definitely some people who are walking here who probably aren't citizens as well. You see that there are plenty of people who look like sailors, probably people who are also staying in town. Or coming in off the ships.
Do you see the kobolds?
You do not see the kobolds. So you all make it to follow them and make it to the town square. I'm going to move you all over to this map so you have a good idea of kind of what we're looking at here. So if you want to reference our Roll20 here, this is what would be the fountain. You can see that, and the little shaggy icon is what I have for Renwick, because I feel like that's a really good comparison to what he is. So Renwick has also been silently walking with you, just shambling along. And I will use shambling for him just because I feel like he's lanky, 6 foot something, just kind of dangling behind all of you. So you can see as you walk into the town square, and if you would like to move yourselves onto this map, not guaranteeing a battle, but just if y'all want to get scrappy, I would have you all move to that side of the map near where the Shaggy icon is. I'm sorry, that's Shaggy from Night of Fright, which is the D&D Scooby-Doo module. But you can see that the carriage is officially coming to a stop. Its wheels are stopping. The horses have stopped as well. They are towards the south side. I didn't necessarily make an icon for all 4 horses, but they are there as well. You can see that the carriage opens up, and what steps out first, I'm not sure all of you may have seen before. They're not super common, at least not, out in the infinite seas of Damaris, but this is a Thrykean. This is a insectoid humanoid person, which is sort of counterintuitive now that I realize. But we're talking a human-sized bug person. They're very mantis-like, as they have articulated hands and sort of like serrations to where their forearms would be. They are dressed somewhat oddly with a cloak that drapes down past their insectoid legs. They do have 4 arms. They have several vials of some sort of liquid which are attached around a belt and a bandolier, goggles, which themselves are also what's the word for insect eyes? The multiple different
compounds.
Yeah, compound. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I could not find that. So their goggles also have a compound structure to them that they have lifted near their antennae. They step out first. As they do, they reach 2 hands on the same side out, and you would see a femme-presenting person, large veil covering almost her entire front of her body. It comes down from almost this halo-like crown and drapes down. And you, in this darkness and fog, can't really see much of her physical features, but her hands that do extend out have these very long, very shiny fingernails to them. And she has like darker, not necessarily black, but more like deeply tanned or even like Mediterranean sort of skin tone. And so you'd see that there are also 6 fully armored soldiers. You cannot see any of their physical features. They're full helms, full suits of armor, glaives, swords, shields. You see that the studded leather individual is standing right next to the pool of water, the fountain, and he is just reaching out and splashing water onto his face. As you look around on the rooftops, you can see, actually, before you even see them on the rooftops, from under the carriage, detaching themselves like barnacles almost, you see several ghouls drop down and scurry out onto and up to the roofs of several of the buildings. And then there is a sort of wall. It doesn't fully encapsulate the town. It's just one of those like walls you might find in the middle of a town as like a partial defense. It's not meant to protect everything, just a portion of the town. And the gate is open. It just leads into Croak and Fiach would have passed through it at one point as they were heading out. You can see that standing atop that on this raised area is a gentleman who is wearing what would be considered like sailor's finery. He is a half elf from what you can tell, and there is a distance to this, but you can see that there is a lot of gray to his hair and a lot of wrinkles around his eyes. And he is standing there with his hands just clasped together, waiting as several of the townsfolk begin to kind of gather and then formulate themselves into a line. They are going counterclockwise around the fountain. And they begin to line up. And they begin to start walking towards where the... I'm actually going to switch these two around. To where the Thrykean now stands beside the carriage. Before we get to what they are doing, is there anything you all would like to do?
What do you think the chances are any of these people participated in the attack on the Perseverance and might recognize Renwick?
Oh.
Decently good.
Would not surprise me.
Anyone know any disguise spells?
I can't help.
If I look at Renwick, does he seem to be looking at any of these individuals with any kind of recognition?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check.
Sight. That is a 19.
Great. Renwick is definitely eyeing several of them. He glances up to the gentleman that is standing on the parapet there atop the wall, and his eyes narrow just a little bit as it seems like he's trying to look through the fog, and then he looks to the taller, gruffer individual who is splashing water on his face. You look over to Renwick, and he realizes that you're looking at him. He looks down at you. Hello?
I will point out at the people who are gathering by the fountain, and then kind of make the motion of like a boat rocking on the water, and then
I haven't seen any babies. A carriage?
He'll take out the jar of teeth that he had collected from Renwick's crew members, and then point at the tax collectors.
Are you saying? Did any of them? Would they involve? Would that? Do I recognize their faces, not their teeth? Yes. He looks up again. No, I don't think so.
Would they recognize you, Renwick? If they were on that boat that night?
None of them would have seen me. That's how I survived in the first place.
It's a fair point.
Rack, you were going to say something?
Would I get the idea that he's telling the truth?
You can give an insight again.
Sure. That is a dirty 20 this time.
Great. So let's see. I'll just roll for him for. There we go. So. Okay. I will say that Renwick's weird. I will say with that. But from what you can tell from his facial features, he seems to be honest. His physiology doesn't necessarily seem to give him away. His heart doesn't necessarily with a perception that high or that insight that high, you can even check the visuals of the pulse on his neck, and it doesn't seem to quicken at all. He's either telling the truth or he's an incredibly skilled liar.
Okay. Croak will nod, put away the jar of teeth, and then give Fiach a thumbs up, but then while facing away from Renwick, close one of his eyes just to indicate keep an eye.
I'll wink at Croak. Message received. I think we'll be okay. Maybe, Renwick, just keep your head down as we go through whatever it is this is. But,
I could hide in this bush here if that would be helpful.
I don't know if hiding is better or not, to be honest. I sort of have the feeling that if you hide, they will have ways of finding you.
I will just be last in line then, so you all can figure things out, I suppose.
Maybe in the middle of the pack, really.
All right.
Keep your head down, look like ordinary, which I know is not super hard for you, I think, but...
Am I weird looking?
No!
Quite the opposite is what she's implying.
He looks at all of you and he's like, I should hope I'm not. Well, maybe you all are rather weird looking. Maybe I'm weird looking to you.
No, I'm not saying you're weird looking. I was saying that it's not hard for you to look ordinary because you already kind of I was calling you basic. But whatever.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Yeah. I just thought I'd be clear about what I'm saying.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I think we'll be okay. I don't know. He looks like everybody else here, doesn't he? At least like most of them.
I use the basic NPC model.
You know,
Derek.
there is something very handy about appearing as a basic, you know, as to appearing like everybody else. Sometimes when you stand out, you get noticed, and that's not always a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, my favorite character in any video game is the one that appears on the cover. If I'm ever given a choice, it's whatever one is on the cover. Super Smash Brothers, Mario. Street Fighter, it's Ryu.
None of these words make any sense.
Street Fighter, now canon.
Street Fighter. I understand what a Street Fighter is, but I'm not really sure what any of the other things that you're saying are.
Guess I'll need to invent Mario Kart.
Who is Mario and why is he in a cart?
That's the question, isn't it?
What is like, you know, so everybody's like queued up, right? Has any of it like actually started, or are we still like being organized into a line?
I want to give you all a chance to do anything before.
Right.
But yes.
Okay. I just want to know that this is
Yeah.
like time is not passing in the background.
The line is now moving at this point.
Okay.
And so from your vantage point, and you have not joined the queue just yet, but you can see that there's, several dozen townsfolk that are moving through, and the line seems to be moving somewhat quickly. But from your stance here across from the little water of the fountain, you can see that people are walking up to the Thrakeen, who seems to be articulating something to their hand, their forearm. Let's go ahead and do perception checks.
All right.
Let's do that.
I was like, I'm afraid of doing anything of getting noticed currently.
Oh, God.
Perception.
24
for Croak.
11.
Perception.
Rolled a 9.
23 for Fiach.
Okay.
Natural 1, and I'm keeping it.
Rough. Oh no.
Well,
It's too dark.
It's too dark.
it's too dark for the drow. The
That is
one of
kinda
us
wild.
with dark
It's-
vision.
Right.
I know,
that
right?
It's that weird halfway where it's like, oh, it's not dark enough for the dark vision to kick in.
Yeah.
That's an 11 for Anubia.
Okay. So let's start with the 11 crew. You can see that, again, the mantis-like Thrakeen is articulating something with the hand and forearm. The people then walk next to the carriage. The Thrakeen turns around, turns back to the next person. As the person moves past where the door to the carriage is, they walk up to the woman who is the large veil. She presses a hand to their forehead and a hand to the arm that was articulated by the Thrakeen. And then the person moves along, sometimes kind of rubbing the spot that the Thrakeen touched, but otherwise just moving out into the town from where they came, kind of moving in that counterclockwise. For the people that got the above 20s, what you can see is that the Thrakeen is drawing blood. It is using a small scalpel. Please use your safety tools if anybody's a little yeeked by this. But the Thrakeen is drawing blood and then is siphoning that blood into a container and then is transferring that container into what seems to be a retaining system within the carriage itself. As you can see that there are tanks that are actually attached to the exterior that even then go into the interior of the carriage itself. Then as they move over to the veiled woman, she is channeling some sort of magic. There's a slight red hue to where her hand touches their forehead and their arm. And you can see that the wound that was bleeding but moments ago is healed as the person then moves on. For the natural one there with Desiree, as you look on, your eyes lock with the taller, darker skinned man who has splashed the water onto his face and then looks up to lock eyes from across the way with you, and you see this very intense eye shine just kind of glisten across his eyes that seem to glow slightly yellow, and he is just locked intently on you. So you do not see anything else. It is just that piercing gaze with him. And the line is moving, so if you all are looking to join, now is the time to decide.
I'm going to get in line.
I think I will also get in line.
South.
Yeah.
It will help me be close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Croak will kind of adjust his gear slightly, kind of like move his short sword out of the way, kind of readjust his cloak so that it kind of sits more like a scarf. Make himself look as unassuming as possible.
I think I'm gonna try and get in right just behind Desiree. I think we have to get in line. Again, we're trying to do a certain amount of laying low. And by laying low, I mean, getting close without, causing explosions. And I think the closer we get, the more we're going to learn about whatever it is happening here.
Anubia's almost gonna is gonna hesitate, like, very visibly before joining y'all in line. Like, she's like very like, you can tell like she's trying to push herself to go, but you can tell she's very much against the idea of this in its entirety. So she's like,
I think if Croak notices you hesitating, he'll make a show of taking your hand and leading you into line.
Thank you, Croak.
I'm going to guide Renwick to be ahead of me because I don't want him nabbed while my back is turned.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. So the order, as I understand it, is Desiree, Fiach, and then Croak or Anubia. Who's going to be in front? I'm guessing Croak, since Croak was leading.
Yeah, I think Croak was leading, so I think Croak is in front, then Anubia.
And then we'll have Renwick and then Saskia. The line continues to move. You see that coming in behind Renwick is the curmudgeonly half-dwarf, Mr. Ham, as you heard him referred to by Lyskander. And you see that you're moving closer and closer. And as you're getting closer and closer, the details of these individuals are more cleanly cut for you as the fog kind of fades its distance, only better increasing your visibility. You can see that the armored individuals are standing pretty still. Again, you can't see any features from within their metal armor. See the gentleman that's standing atop the parapet, and he's got some age to him for a half elf, but he is now kind of just moving his hands together, and he opens his hands. Again, thank you all so much for your payment of your taxes. We know that this nightly dedication to our great Lord is a burden of sorts. And yet all the same, you all come every night to show your dedication, your appreciation of the Lord of Hollowvow. And with that, his protection, his wealth, it trickles to all of you. This shall be over very soon. You shall all go back to your homes as you do each and every night. And again, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you. It's at this point that you're getting closer and closer. Desiree, you are but a few people away. Is there anything you would like to do before you reach the Thrakeen?
Could I identify who here might actually be a vampire?
Yes. I could think of a few skills that could be potentially helpful towards that. Is there anything that you already had in mind?
Perception is probably my best role.
perception would be a good one if you're looking for features like prolonged fangs, extended ears, pale skin. Yeah, you could look for the common traits that you know would be indicators of vampirism. Sure. Go ahead and roll a perception. Yeah.
That is a 13, and I'm going to use my second wind tactical mind to add a d10 to that.
Okay.
$17 total.
Okay. With a 17, the ghouls are clearly ghouls. The armored individuals, tough to tell. You can't see any physical features with them. They potentially could be, but you're not sure. What I will say with the 17 is you're standing pretty close to one of them now. You're actually closer to one of the knights, which is standing next to the Thrykeen. What I will say is you don't hear any breathing, and you also don't see like the natural rise and fall of like somebody's shoulders that's wearing armor that would indicate that they are breathing. The Thrykeen, kind of weird. I'm not sure. Now I'm trying to think of how, man, if Thrykeens were vampires or werewolves, how would that work? Do they get fur? Do they keep the forearms? Anyway, the Thrykeen does not seem to be any form of undead, just strange. The woman with the veil, again, can't see her face or anything else. Her skin is darker, but that's all you really have to go on. Tougher to tell with her. The gentleman that is standing atop the parapet, although he is aged, and even though he is a half-elf, as he has made this little speech, you have seen that his canines are somewhat prolonged, that he does have a little bit of eye shine. While half-elves do have dark vision, this seems to be much more intense as the torches around him kind of glint off of this eye shine. If you were going to guess anybody is very clearly a vampire, it is this individual.
I'll keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to sort of, like, as we're moving up, sort of look behind me at Croak and give him a little nudge and point to our veiled friend that seems to be the one healing the wounds. Point to like one of my many drapey bits and like mimic ripping it. Just like a tiny corner. And then, do you think for me?
Croak will kind of catch on to what she's putting down, and then
just a little.
He'll give a small nod. He's actually going to take a closer look at this veiled individual. As she's casting this healing magic, would he see any casting implements, maybe a holy symbol of some kind that you might be wearing?
Yeah, go ahead. You can do perception or investigation if you're looking for something very specific like that.
Sure. I'll do perception. That is a 24.
24, I would say that you don't necessarily see a holy symbol, but you do see what you might indicate as an arcane focus, as she has a set of rings on her left hand, but you notice that the rings are connected by articulated chains in between them. So while she can move her fingers freely, there's almost like a chained webbing between them, and you can see that each of them has a very deep red, potentially ruby of some decent size, which is set into each of them. So even her thumb again has like this articulated chain, which doesn't even dangle. It extends out almost like a webbing as her hand moves, and you can see that the magic is channeling through that.
Okay, Croak will take note of that.
Mm-hmm. Desiree, as you are next in line for the Thrykeen, it reaches out this buggy claw to take your I suppose right hand and forearm.
Yeah, I will pull up a sleeve and give it.
Are you a citizen or visitor?
A visitor.
Welcome, and thank you for paying our taxes.
And it will take a small scalpel and make a cut into your arm. It does 1 point of damage. And then will collect that blood into a vial. And it will then turn around, and as it does, one of its arms gestures from behind it for you to move along towards the veiled woman.
Thank you for receiving me. I'll pass on to the veiled woman.
Fia, as you see that Desiree is moving on, you can see that the Thrakeen stops, and then, because you are right behind Desiree, you would see it looks up past the carriage towards the vampire, as Desiree has determined, and just gives a sharp little nod, and the vampire looks down and nods back, and it turns back then to you. Desiree, as you move along, the woman with the veil, you can see a little bit of her features now. Not super clearly, but from what you can tell, this is a very, very gorgeous woman with some very sharp features from beneath this veil. But she extends two hands out to reach towards your forehead and your arm, and you feel a magic channel through you, and that you lose that 1 point of damage. You may return.
Thank you. Might I have the honor of speaking with your companion here? And I will indicate the vampire.
Yes. If you wouldn't mind just standing aside, I will grant you an audience.
I'm in your debt.
And she gestures for you to just stand off to the side of the carriage.
I do.
Fia, you go through the same process,
Sure.
unless there's anything you wanted to do.
I'll just, flirt outrageously with the Thrakeen. Oh, what you doing,
How
handsome?
do you flirt?
Just a very casual, if in that way, as he's taking the scalpel. Oh, this is new and exciting. I'm new in town here. You do this often? It's so cheesy. It's the cheesiest.
I do this every night.
Well, you must be good with your hands then.
I have 4 of them. My lower left is my weakest.
And what do you do when you're not doing this for fun?
Things with blood and body parts.
Oh. Does that, I mean, I'm not opposed to those things. I do like body parts.
What is your favorite?
Favorite body part?
Yes.
Depends on the day, really.
Mm.
Do you have a favorite?
Spleen.
Spleen. Oh. Internal, I see.
Mm.
Well,
That or the back of the knee, if we are talking external.
Why the back of the knee?
I like the way it bends.
Could have saw that coming, right?
Mm-hmm. It is also one of the more sensitive parts of a humanoid.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
And do you stay around here at all? Come down to this town? Are you just here for the evening?
I am in the service of Lord Aderlas. I reside in the castle.
And he treats you well.
I guess. What is good? What is well?
Well, as long as you're happy, really.
I do not get that one.
Well, perhaps you could show me around the castle at some point.
No.
Oh, pity.
No.
Then I'll move on from that.
Okay. Next.
The veiled woman puts a hand to your arm and your forehead.
Do not mind him. He does not understand what you are doing. And believe me, your parts do not match.
Oh, I didn't think they do. It's just a habit of mine, really.
Well.
What about our parts, though?
We have already done a little bit of a fluid exchange tonight. I'm not sure you could handle any more from me.
We'll see about that, dearie.
For Croak, and actually even for the rest of you, anything you all would like to do as part of this interaction, we can go one by one. So, Rak, any special interactions you would like to have for Croak with either the Thrykeen or the Veiled Woman?
I think Croak would make like a show of like holding up both wings and like looking unsure of like where exactly the Thrykeen's supposed to cut. Just like hold an arm out.
You have blood, yes?
Yes.
Good, I will find it.
And it just takes a wing a little bit rougher and does make a decent cut. It's still 1 hit point.
Got it. Moving on.
I think when Croak gets cut, he'll let out like a squeaking noise. And then as soon as the blood is collected, he'll like hobble over to the Veiled Woman holding onto his wing like this.
As a Kenku who can only recreate noises that you have heard, I need to know what the squeaking noise is. Is it a mouse? Is it a clown horn? Like, is it a bicycle? Like, like what is the noise?
It's kind of the sound of like a startled rat.
Great. Perfect. The Thrykeen, its mandibles kind of chitter a little bit at that.
Okay. Little hungry now.
And as you move over to the Veiled Woman, she goes,
"It is all right. I will heal it. No need to make little noises."
Yeah. I think while she's healing, Croak would like to like quickly scan her to see if there's like any kind of like loose object that he might be able to swipe.
Sure. Okay. Do you just want to do sleight of hand and like see what you get, or do you want to like?
I think
take a look first.
I'll take a look first. And
okay.
Then
go ahead and give me investigation.
Cool. Investigation. Investigation is a dirty 20.
Great. The rings are probably tough. You would have to get them off of all 5 fingers that she is actively using that are like within line of sight. Tougher to do. You can see that she does have a sort of like decorative belt, and she has several things dangling off of that. She has a small dagger that looks to be a curved dagger that is in a sheath. She has a couple of just gemstones that are dangling. Again, they are all red, vibrant red, ruby-looking gemstones that are just kind of all on a chain that dangle down. Yeah, she also, I would say, well, you wouldn't be able to see with the veil. Yeah, I think those might be the bigger things. She also, I guess, on her right hand would have a rather dangly bracelet, which seems to be made of black pearl, that if you were real swift, you might be able to swipe off of her.
Okay. So I think after I've received my healing, I will kind of flap my wing a little bit, test it out, and then I'll like hop around in a circle a few times, and then I'll move in, give her a big hug around her waist. As I'm doing it, I'll I believe I have a crit banked from a donation last
Great.
session. I will burn that crit to swipe an object from her belt.
Okay. Yeah. So what's your modifier with the nat 20?
I have a +8 sleight of hand.
Okay, so it's a 28 in total.
Yep.
I don't think she can beat that regardless. So no need to roll. Did you want to take the curved dagger, or did you want to take the string of rubies?
Probably I'll take the string of rubies. Probably something that she would be less likely to notice missing compared to
Sure.
dagger.
You notice that they are on a very delicate platinum chain, and there is a string of 7, rather sizable, almost marble-sized rubies that are all in a straight line. And as you pull away from the hug, that chain slips off of her belt ever so easily and right into your birdie embrace. So yes, you may add that to your inventory if you'd like. It's we can determine value, but it is absolutely valuable.
Yeah, and then he will hop back to join Desiree and Fiach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Des is standing off to the side a little bit more as the armored soldier has gestured for Fia to continue moving, to not stand next to Desiree.
Okay, then he will follow Fiach then.
Yeah, fair enough. Just to set that up. For Anubia, as you woke up.
Anubite, yes?
You are familiar with my kind.
Yes, Kenra. I have met some of you before. Not a werewolf. I know the difference.
She snorts at that, just...
Do you have problems with your breathing?
None.
If you are in need of medical care at any time while in Esperanza, you may come and see me.
Good to know.
And he will draw blood from you, unless you put up any sort of struggle with that.
She will sort of once he grabs, if he does take her wrist to draw the blood, she will slightly resist at first because she's before taking a deep breath and just relaxing, just muttering to herself, just let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
It is quick. And not painless, but it could be much more painful if that helps.
Just get it over with.
It does. It is done. You may get healed now.
For Renwick, he steps up and he keeps his head down. His eyes don't match the Thrykeen, but they don't seem to have much of an interaction as the Thrykeen draws blood, seems to store it away. Renwick walks over to the veiled woman. She does say something to him, but Saskia, as you're walking up to the Thrykeen, you can't necessarily hear what that is, but Renwick just nods and keeps his eyes down and walks over to join Fia and Anubia and Croak. For Saskia, any interaction you would like to have?
Not with the Thrykeen.
Okay.
But I think after blood is drawn, right? And she has to step past our healer here. She will actually not walk straight, but she will walk at a slight angle as if she's going to skip entirely and sort of just tap her wrist and lay on hands herself and heal it herself without bothering to even... She won't even look at the other healer.
there does not seem to be any vocal protest whatsoever to that. The dwarf behind you, as you're walking past where the veiled woman is, you can already hear that he's grumbling as like the line is moving, like, wish this would just move a little bit faster. Just want to get this over with. I want to get back to my drink. And the Thrykean, you can hear say,
Mr. Ham, you are here. We have missed you these past few nights.
And the dwarf pulls his arm back as you might look back.
Yeah, I'm not giving you a shot tonight. Any night. Done with this. Fuck this. Fuck your taxes. I'm tired of a fucking morning from this. Mr. Ham, we heal you. Your tiredness is due to your alcohol inebriation. You should drink more water.
And the dwarf is now like poking a finger at the Thrykean's carapace.
No, I ain't doing this no more. I'm doing none of this.
And you can see that the armored soldiers are starting to move in now.
Mr. Ham, this is the end of the extension that we can provide. If you do not pay your taxes this night, then you will no longer have the protections that they afford you.
Mr. Ham just goes and spits right onto the shirt of the Thrykean and goes to walk away. The Thrykean looks over to the veiled woman, who just nods kind of sadly at him. He looks up to the vampire, who looks to all of the other armored individuals. And then he sticks out a hand and snaps his fingers. And you would watch as the ghouls descend down, almost like lizards climbing down a wall, and start to close in on Mr. Ham. Mr. Ham, this is your last chance, sir. You may still pay your taxes this night and be given all of the protections that Castle Hollowval gives you. The dwarf continues walking. You can see that the taller studded leather wearing individual has just kind of like, he sat on a bench and he's kind of like leaning back a little bit, just as if he were kind of like watching the show. The ghouls close in. Is there anything you all wanted to do?
Going to look at Desiree, since I'm following her lead here on our overall plans. See if Desiree moves.
I have an idea. Could I step forward? Excuse me, might I offer to pay this gentleman's taxes for the evening?
The veiled woman puts a hand on your shoulder.
That is very kind of you. But he must pay for himself. And it is many nights that he owes us. You do not want to pay those back taxes. He has chosen at this point. Just watch what happens.
Very well.
Standing by, you all watch as the ghouls close in like a pack of wolves around him. And as they snarl, their tongues extending outwards, you can see there are barbs to their tongues. They begin to lash, and Mr. Ham seems either too consumed by anger or drink to notice as they then pounce. A tongue wraps around his ankle, the barbs digging into his skin, and it rips him backwards. And all of a sudden they have pounced on him and they are dragging him, and his fingers are digging into the dirt as he yells. And you can see that some of the citizenry have turned around to watch, but nobody is stepping forward as they drag him further and further back. And as they do, the veiled woman opens the door to the carriage and the ghouls drag him inside. And as the door closes, the metal clank you can no longer hear his screams. Let's go ahead and take our break.
Yeah.
We will be back in about 10 minutes. Stick around, pet your pets, do the things, and we'll be back with more Harbingers. One thing I didn't say at the top, but I will say now, remember that this game plays in support of the Trans-Latina Coalition, the second A in Latina being the @ sign. It's part of our Pride Month campaign. However, this game will extend beyond Pride. So you can donate at any time to add some incentives to our game. You can find that link in chat as well as on our beacons and on all of our socials as well. Stick around. We'll be back. Vast and welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Harbingers. Let's jump back into things. Actually, real quick, just to say it again, we are raising money for Trans-Latina Coalition, the second A in Latina being the @ sign. It is a very important organization that raises awareness, advocates for societal as well as legal change, and works at a really important intersectionality of the Latinx community as well as the trans community, but also does a lot of work that affects everybody in a very positive way. So your donations go towards a great cause and can add some incentives to our game. Check out more about them on their official website, but you can see the link to donate to our particular campaign, which we are raising money throughout Pride Month for, but also this game in particular will extend beyond Pride, so great opportunities to donate. But you can see the link to donate in our chat as well as on our socials, and of course on beacons.ai/swordandkey. All right, let's jump back into stuff. So, after the kerfuffle with Mr. Ham, the silence that has kind of gathered, the mist surrounding you all seeming to absorb a lot of the ambient sound, and the crowd that stood and watched as Mr. Ham was dragged into the carriage all just fades away. They walk away from the town square. The rest of you are left as the ghouls have taken up their spots back up on the perches around the rooftops. The line has died down. You all were pretty close to the end, and the few other people passed through as doing their best, trying to ignore what just happened to Mr. Ham. As the last people make their donations, their tax payments, the gentleman who is standing on the parapet again opens his hands. Thank you all again. Your generosity, your dedication helps this town to survive. It helps us to thrive. We appreciate you all, and we will see you all tomorrow night. He waves a hand to something in the distance, and you hear the bells start to ring throughout the town. They go for a few seconds before they stop. He goes to walk down from the parapet, and the ghouls all descend downwards from the rooftops as well. The knights begin to form up around the carriage once again, and the veiled woman takes you, Desiree, almost by the elbow, just gently. It's not a forceful grip. If you would come with me.
Of course.
And she walks you over where the gentleman who was standing above you all a little bit ago has now gotten down to the cobblestone underneath your feet. He stands at the same level as you. Cadogan, this is a visitor to our town who wanted to make your acquaintance. I'm so sorry, dear. I did not get your name.
Desiree.
This is our head tax collector, Cadogan. And he nods respectfully, but curtly to you. Desiree, it is a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to our fair town. I hope that it has been pleasant to you in the short time you have been here. What can I do for you?
My time in your town has been pleasant indeed. I have traveled far to this place in an effort to become one of your kind, in exchange for services, information, plunder, and prey. To whom might I speak concerning entry into your ranks?
You're a bold one this day, I'll give you that. Let's start slow then. Where have you traveled from? And it seems you haven't traveled alone, as he gestures to your friends who also are gathered somewhat nearby. Where have you all come from?
Could I just like make up a place that's kind of known as a haven for like mercenaries and pirates?
Sure. Plenty of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just like list off a reasonable sounding place that's decently far away.
Go ahead and do a deception check.
All right, sure. On my character sheet. Uh, 19.
19, great. All right. Let's see. All right, that is a decent trip, but to our little haven, that's... I wondered how you even heard of us. We're not exactly advertising.
You are not. This has been something that's been in the back of my mind for a while, and this was the first lead that I had, or at least the first of a few that didn't turn up to be a bust.
See.
And my traveling companions are individuals that I've fought with. You could consider us a mercenary party. They are not part of this particular interest of mine, but we have fought together, bled together. I have saved their lives and they have saved mine. I can't imagine they are particularly interested in this venture of mine, but we have traveled together and I trust them.
For one so bold, you seem to be sort of dancing around the underlying question you have here. When you say our kind, what do you mean then, Desiree? What are you looking to get out of this conversation?
I would like to make forward progress into becoming a vampire.
Ah, there it is. Well, just bite to the neck and it's all over then, eh?
I don't know.
Most people try to avoid this particular fate. What is it that has drawn you to it so intensely?
Independence.
It is that. It can be, at least. Those who seek it out do it for their own reasons, but I suppose that's one of them. And it's the same reason my lord sought the fate as well, whether he meant to or not. Freedom from something, at least. Well, all the same, Desiree, we're not exactly openly recruiting at this time, although you're not the first to come to our shores seeking out our little gift. But I'm not saying no. You paid your taxes. You've shown interest. Ultimately, I'm not the one to say yes or no to this. But I can get you a word with someone who can. Not tonight, mind you.
Understandable.
Tomorrow. After taxes. In fact, probably best before. As the sun begins to set, before the fog rolls in,
I'll send someone for you who can help you traverse the path safely to our castle. It can be treacherous without proper guidance. Come then.
I will.
And bring your friends if you like.
I believe I will. Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. And again, I am Cardigan. And I think you've met our other tax collectors, though their services are much more varied than that. And he gestures to the veiled woman. This is Lady Spite, and our head scientist, Mr. Fleshblight, Isaac, if you will. I like your candor, and I like how forward you are. Now look at you so far. Honesty will get you the rest of the way. He nods to you then, and puts a hand out for Lady Spite, who takes it gently. And he opens the carriage door. And from your vantage point, you do not see anything inside, except for just seating. He helps Lady Spite inside. The Thrakeen, all four arms, pulls himself inside, almost compressing himself, very insectoid-like. And then Cadigan goes in as well. The ghouls all scuttle beneath the chassis of the carriage, and the knights form up, getting into a formation where they all turn in unison. And the larger individual begins to walk alongside. He walks past you, and just kind of looks down at you. I'll probably be the one that's sent down to get you tomorrow.
I look forward to meeting again then.
Yeah, all right.
The carriage then, the driver cracks the reins, and the draft horses take off, rounding the fountain and heading out of the town. And as they do, the fog, not instantly, but it does seem to fade with them. That it does seem to recede somewhat quickly. Not in a magical sort of sense, but it's kind of like where you don't notice that it's not there until you're like, oh, wait, I can see 20 feet in front of me all of a sudden. And you all are left standing in the town square.
I think Fiach, during the entire conversation, was gripping Anubia's arm so tight. You're muted.
Yep. Anubia probably actually wouldn't have noticed because she was busy like gripping, like clenching her palm so hard, like blood could have like come out of it. It was like that kind of thing for her too. So she gets you.
You seem to have an in.
Well done. Though I can't say I wasn't nervous that they were just going to drag you off in that carriage like they did with that man.
It was indeed incredibly risky.
It was. But it worked for now. And if we have an opportunity, let's try and find that man again. Mr. Ham.
The one they dragged off in the carriage?
Yeah, we're already looking in that area.
That's fair. Don't know that we'll find him in quite the state that we left him in.
No, certainly not under the care of Mr. Fleshblight.
Croak is going to flash Desiree a thumbs up, give a nod of approval, and then he's going to kind of look over to where Mr. Hand got dragged off, specifically like the patch of ground that he was like dragged through. Would it be possible to see if I can find any like blood markings from where the barbs dug into his skin?
Oh, like a little bit of his blood?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's call that investigation, sure.
Investigation. That's a nat 20.
Hey.
Great. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure your modifier is ridiculous as well. Yeah, you would be able to find a few droplets on some of the blades of grass. I mean, with the humidity, they have not dried that quickly. So there's still a few liquid droplets on a few blades of grass, yeah.
Cool. I'm going to... Okay. I'm going to take one of my empty oil flasks, and I'm going to snip off a few blades of grass that are stained with his blood and just drop them in, and then cork it. Bring it along for later.
Okay. All right.
Be a dear. You're right. You looked a little peaked back there.
Oh. Yes.
Sorry.
That was to Anubia.
Yeah, it was to Anubia.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Let's just say I wasn't the biggest fan of that entire experience.
You okay? You're gonna be okay.
I know. Just pray to Anubis that for the rest of these folk that everything else will be all right, without incident. The longer this goes on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Figure as long as we keep things quiet when they're around, we can minimize their trouble at least.
Yeah. She's gonna kind of just like walk off, like clear her head a little bit, just like sort of not like leave the area, but just pace around a little bit, just like yeah.
Croak, were you successful?
Croak will just nod, but then like kind of gesture his head around.
Fair enough.
Kind of indicating we're still in public.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good news. Might be able to get a little more insight into the situation later tonight then. Or tomorrow morning. Tonight, really.
What are you all planning on doing?
Hmm?
What are you planning on doing?
What?
All right. So I thought this was an everyone conversation. I can stand over here. That's fine.
Oh, no, it's fine. Just, a few information gathering. But, research. We're doing research.
Okay.
Do you have any insights?
I can tell you that judging by that vampire man that Desiree was speaking to, he's strange as far as vampires go. You don't typically see them that old. Vampires mostly they do age, although they do have a sort of timeless quality to them for a period. When they age, their ears get larger, their fangs get larger, they tend to lose a lot of their hair, they get incredibly paler. He seems as if he has not been a vampire for terribly long, but it also seems as if he was turned somewhat late into his years, even as what I imagine to be a half-elf. It seems like he's
Is there an age limit on becoming a vampire?
Not that I'm aware of, but I don't. From my research of what I was told, most vampires prefer younger blood. Many of them claim that it tastes better, although I can't imagine that's actually a thing. It's probably just some sort of strange thing they have about consuming younger life force. And there are theories that the more life force that blood has, the more sustaining that it can be for a vampire. It's and many times when they do consume the blood of older individuals, it is not with the purpose of turning them. Those people just are, they're no longer living after their encounter. So he is a bit of an anomaly, I would say.
I think at this point, Croak is going to tug on Fiach's skirt and kind of walk in place and like move his fingers up and down to like indicate like walk and talk.
Absolutely, you're right. Yes.
Storking it.
That is an interesting. I would like to know more about our head tax collector, if we can.
Okay.
All right, walking and talking. Back to the thing.
Back to the inn?
Back to the inn.
Yeah, you would be able to reach the inn without too much trouble or time. Most people have retreated back to their homes. So, yeah, you get back to the Owl Light, and it is lit by the green lanterns all about. The tavern portion is pretty quiet at this point, as all the people seem to have gone home. Lysander is no longer behind the bar. The front doors are closed at this point, and this is the first time that you all can see that there is, just faintly, but a number of you kind of notice this walking in. There's some sort of glyph that is carved into the wood of the double doors, and once closed, it seems to make a solid glyph on it.
Is this glyph at all, like, looking at it, would I recognize it as related at all to hallowing a space? Since I know that the...
Would you like to roll Arcana or Religion?
Where's my paper?
Or History? I would say all three of those would be.
Man, these are all the same.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh! That one. Doesn't matter.
No! You do have
I have
an
no idea
advantage and a crit.
You're like, I don't know that emoji.
This side can't stop me because I can't read.
I think I'll keep it because it's just kind of like I'm going to the end. I'm just like,
I'd be so mad if I could read.
Drink
I'm tired,
your
y'all.
Ovaltine.
Yeah.
I'm just, it's like, it's the sign. I'm like, okay, I'm too busy being like, is this the correct end? We've been here 5 minutes.
Oh man, local teens just vandalizing stuff with their graffiti and their all their Banksies. Okay. Yeah, you. The doors aren't locked. I should note that. And you all enter without any difficulty. You can return to your rooms if you would like.
Is there anybody at the bar?
There is nobody. Lysander was not.
He said he was going to be at the bar was open after all of this.
He did
lied.
say that.
He lied.
I forgot that he said that. So then he will be there. I apologize.
He could have lied. That's fine.
Yeah, well, Scanner's an upstanding kind of guy. He will be at the bar then. I apologize. So it is late, but he does walk out of the kitchen. As he does, you can hear him yelling in a language I'm not sure any of you. Do any of you speak Goblin?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
He's yelling something in Goblin as he rushes out of the kitchen, and he makes some sort of hand gesture that you can't imagine is polite. But he slithers back behind the bar, and so a single green lantern is lit at the corner of the bar as he sees all of you walk in. Oh, you all are back.
Pope, you weren't having to be visited tonight?
No, we paid our taxes adequately. And it seems as if all of you did the same.
Yeah, another one of your patrons didn't though.
Mr. Ham.
Does that happen often? Somebody not paying their taxes like that and getting dragged off like that?
Most people are very diligent about paying their taxes. Although, well, I am just glad that you all are staying here. It is one of the safest places to be in Esperanza.
Is that you're doing?
A little, yes.
Then much appreciated.
I just care about my patrons. Anyway, your rooms are ready for you unless you all would like anything from the kitchen. It is still... He looks back to the swinging doors that he just came through. We can work something out.
Oh, I'm fine, I think. Well, the rest of you? Anything?
No, thank you.
Get some rest. A new day always brings new opportunities.
That it does. So, which rooms are Croak and I staying in? We heard you got 2. Should we get a third one? Or are we gonna split, are we gonna triple up?
That is up to your prerogative. I don't care either way.
Croak just shrugs.
Get a third room then. If Lyskander has one. Good sir.
Yes, another room. Yes, if you will give me a few minutes, it's now open. And he slithers from behind the bar.
Well,
and goes back. He goes up the stairs. Yeah.
You don't. If you find anything interesting, I wouldn't mind looking over it, if that's all right.
In Mr. Ham's parsonage?
Maybe don't clean it too well. Just change the sheets or something.
Yes, he was not a clean man.
No, I can't imagine he wasn't, and I'm sure it smells like alcohol, but,
If you're lucky. Alcohol at least cleans things.
Nah. Alcohol sweat doesn't, though.
No. A little bit of time goes by, and he slithers back down. I did my mediocre best.
Perfect.
So, okay. Good rest to you all.
You too.
I do want to, before anybody beds down real quick, I would like to cast Alarm really fast in all 3 rooms.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's only a first level, so I have more than enough slots. So I'll just cast that 3 times real quick. Yeah.
So let me read up on what Alarm is.
Yeah.
Because that is one of those fun spells that doesn't get enough love.
Yeah. I just gotta pull it up at 5 equals. I assume, I don't know how big these rooms are. 20-foot cube is pretty big though. Until the spell ends, an alarm alerts you whenever a creature touches or enters the warded area. When you cast the spell, I can designate creatures that won't set off the alarm. I will say basically any of the group. I do want to know whether or not Renwick enters or leaves the area. But I don't want an alarm every time he moves within it though.
Okay.
And it is a mental alarm. I don't want this going off loudly. But yeah, it'll be the next 8 hours.
Okay. Good to know. So who's rooming where?
I mean, I will take Ham's room. Whoever wants to
take Ham's room.
Perfect.
Okay. And then it's Anubia and Desiree, and then Saskia and Renwick. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great.
Although, and also, if anybody would like to join us for a moment, thanks to Croak's incredible stealth skills, I might be able to take a peek at one of our new friends. Something I picked up from one of the hair specs.
Sure.
I think Anubia would join for that, yeah.
Pushing into the room.
And I would like if sort of hold out my hand to Croak for the objects that he was able to procure.
Croak will gesture his head upstairs.
Yeah. This is, yeah.
I think once we have assembled in one of the rooms, Croak will produce the platinum chain with the rubies on it and hand it to Fiach. And he will also pull out the vial that he put the bloodstained grass on, point to it, and kind of like puff his chest out and like dangle a wing in front of his beak, kind of like to simulate a beard, and like stomp about, and then point to the jar to show the blood inside.
Well done.
Clever.
And then set the vial on a table.
That could come in handy. Actually, I mean, I could look at both of them.
Why not?
I have the ability to do that. Well, who first then? Our dwarf friend or the lady? Any preferences?
The dwarf might be more time sensitive.
Fair enough. And I would like to cast. I would assume, Derek, that because we of where we started and when we start, that at some point in leaving, Fiach would have acquired the necessary focus in order to cast Scrying. Like somewhere at the Harbingers.
Yeah, let me pull up Scrying here real quick.
It's it's one of those items that like once you have it, it doesn't disappear. It's like 1,000 gold pieces worth of like a mirror or a crystal ball or something.
Sure. I think that's reasonable. I mean, Scrying would be something that the Harbingers are, a focus worth 1,000 gold pieces, such as a crystal ball, mirror, or water-filled font. We can do that.
Great. I think that she would have had a mirror. Feels right for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then also take out just some small critter bones as well. Very light, definitely of the hollow variety. And then I think place the vial with the blood, sort of set that on like just right on top of the mirror, and then toss the bones sort of around so that they end up scattered around as I cast scrying on Mr. Ham.
Mr. Ham. Okay. So a little bit of time has passed. So I'm trying to reason out where he would be necessarily. So I think by the time that you all reach the inn, maybe...
And the casting time is 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the time you reach the inn, the room has been cleaned. You all get up there, 10 minutes pass. Okay. So for scrying, let's see. This is going to be... So you have... We could say you've met the target.
Yeah, I would say so.
And that you have a body part. So that is a -10 to the save.
Yeah. And that's on his part to make that save.
Correct.
Yeah.
So let's see what he's got here. What is your DC?
17.
17. Okay. So he's going to beat a 17 with a -10. That's going to be pretty tough.
I don't know.
Yeah, especially with the 2. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. You're going to create an invisible intangible sensor within 10 feet. You can see and hear through it as if you were there. Sensor moves with the target remaining 10 feet for the duration. The duration is 10 minutes. Okay. Cool. So what you are going to see is just as your sensor is going to appear invisibly, as far as you're aware, just as Mr. Ham is being dragged away from the carriage. The ghouls have descended from beneath the carriage and have begun dragging Mr. Ham, who they each have a limb at this point, have lifted him above the ground.
Sure.
And so he is trying to kick and scream, kicking and flailing, much to no avail. But he is pulled through. You can see that you're kind of on a bridge. The bridge seems to go over a waterway. And even as the sensor is kind of looking, you can see that it travels outwards, and you can almost see the edge of where the waterfall would be. Before you is a causeway. That the bridge is the causeway with a great gate presented before you. The gate opens as the ghouls are dragging him within, and there is now a massive castle, a castle that Croak would have seen more from a bird's eye view, Castle Hollow Val, rather. And he is dragged somewhat quickly as the ghouls are kind of moving, as they're holding him with one limb and their tongues, and then are kind of traveling with on all fours, otherwise just with I guess all threes. But they are scurrying across the bridge now, and another set of doors open to the castle, and he is brought into what is a very decadent but also gothic looking room. The first room of this keep. You can see that there is a curving stairway that curves both ways. It leads up to a second balcony level. There are these rich red carpets, chandeliers. It is incredibly clean in here, and there is a very ornate statuary of what we might consider like almost Renaissance level musculature figures who are holding up columns, and all of them seem somewhat twisted in their form. Like there's just something slightly painful to the way that they've been designed. He is dragged further and further into the keep where the light, this bright decadence seems to fade, and all of the initial grandeur seems to fade with the light as well. And the ghouls drag him down a stone stairway, downwards, curving downwards into darkness. Here, even without your dark vision, even with the scrying sensor, hard to see, but what you can hear is him yelling the whole time, the ghouls heavy breathing and panting as they are scurrying downwards. He and they reach finally the bottom of this curving, twisting stairway. It seems to twist downwards for literal minutes as they are scurrying pretty quickly. And when they get down to the bottom level, you hear a voice.
Well, Mr. Ham, poor decisions must be met with equivalent consequences. And a consolation that I can offer is that what is left of your miserable life, which is very little, I might add, will be in the service of a much greater cause. I hope that wherever you go next, you can carry the memories of what you're about to see next. Very few will ever get to see it, and fewer still will get to live after that. When you meet your gods, tell them what you have seen. I wish I could see the look on their faces.
It's just about that time that 10 minutes would have gone by.
Sure. Just when I was getting to the good part. I'm kidding, mostly. I didn't see this person that was talking.
It was in pitch black.
Yeah, okay.
You only heard the voice.
Yeah, that figures. All right. Frankly, things don't sound very good for Mr. Ham at all. And
his
I will
bacon's cooked.
Mm-hmm. I will relay, of course, all of this to my companions.
He went wee all the way home.
Yeah. And did I in the first part as they were dragging him down, did I see Lady Spite at all?
I would say that you would have seen her getting out of the carriage and just kind of watching, almost somewhat amused as you can't really see her face. The veil is still,
Right.
I mean, it is full, from like this spiked crown all the way down to her feet. But the way that her hands were just kind of clasped together was kind of like an ooh yay sort of body language to her as she and the Thrykean and Cadigan almost, actually I will say Cadigan goes walking off in a different direction as the ghouls are dragging Mr. Ham.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can try this again on Lady Spite.
May as well.
We've seen
we could
what
double dip on Ham.
I can't actually double dip.
Oh, you can't. Gotcha.
No. If it's successful, I can't use it again for 24 hours.
It does not sound like he'd be around much longer anyway.
No.
Agreed.
I don't know, saying hi to your gods and telling them about this is something that I would say.
They dare speak of gods.
Yeah.
No, the villain is Fiach. Oh my god.
Crazy.
Are we the baddies?
We are the baddies, obviously.
The skull iconography isn't helping.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd be good to give Lady Spite a few minutes to get where she is going first. If you saw
True.
her in the hall.
Yeah. I mean, I could also check on her in the morning. Did somebody was anybody able to figure out if she was a vampire or not? I can't remember.
The full determination was not made.
Right.
Yeah, Des tried, I remember. Yeah.
Des tried. I just don't remember what the determination on that was. But,
I could have checked, but
yeah. No. Almost like you're the paladin.
Yeah.
I had one channel divinity left, and if
that's fair.
If combat happens,
so fair.
I wanted to hold that.
That's
It's so valid.
I think at this point, Croak will remember, and he will hop up onto the table. He will pull the cloak in front of his face, kind of like acting as a veil.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of like wiggle his fingers while imitating the sound of like a spell being cast, and then point to the feathers on one of his hands to like where he saw the chained rings that she was wearing.
Magic rings, sure. Spellcasting focus, maybe. Doesn't necessarily mean. More, I'm wondering if she is a vampire, if I try and check on her in the morning rather than tonight, then she might be asleep and I might see nothing. But then we'd know one way or the other. Or we wait. Because it's been, at this point, it would have been 10 minutes from when they entered into the castle. Since that's the entirety of that vision.
Right.
So if we wait like another 10 minutes before I cast Scrying again, then we might see more of what Lady Spite is up to.
It's true.
Yeah, it's a fair determination, I think.
I'm a little nervous because she is probably a little better about... We'll see. It's worth a shot, at least, I think. So I will wait 10 minutes and then... Because my casting time is 10 minutes anyway, and so that'll be plenty of time. And I will replace the vial of blood with the chain from Croak to cast Scrying on Lady Spite.
Great.
And then I will be out of spell slots. She would have the same... Oh, no, hers would be different because we don't have a body part, so it would be in minus... We've met, but...
-4.
Yeah,
Yes.
it would just be the -4 modifier.
Okay.
Not
and it is a wisdom save, and you said
17.
It was 17.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. She has a +5 to her wisdom save.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
So
but that is a nat 1.
Oh! Heck
Okay.
yeah!
So, 20, 30-ish minutes have passed, and you cast Scrying again. You can see that she is now standing in that very well-lit hall, the first hall of the castle. Your Scrying eye looking up and seeing the same chandelier.
Bedroom, but all right. So
if she has one.
Well,
She is standing there patiently as Cadigan walks into the room from a side hall, his boots kind of clopping on the stone. Well, are we going to feast tonight, Cadigan?
Yeah.
And he looks at her with a look of like disappointment on his face. Feast is a strong word. I'm not fond of eating rats, and I would say that kobolds are a half step up from that. But there are quite a few of them, at least. And our Lord was quite kind in acquiring them. We just need to be sure to save one for our prisoner. Don't want him fully starving, not before we are able to fulfill our Lord's wants, of course. I have been wondering about that, Cadigan. You were so close to him at one time, and now you... Well, what is the word? Stabbed him in the back? Not a good look. But our Lord does seem to smile on you for your decisions. Callous and cutthroat and despicable and, well, just bad though they were, but, well, I have known you long enough. I know you before you were this. I would expect no less. You have come a long way, and even though you are just a little baby vampire, I know you're going to do great things. If you, well, keep the knives pointed away from you, I think. He just kind of like scowls at her a little bit.
You may have been doing this a lot longer than me, but I think I have better survival skills than you when it comes down to it, Lady Spite. Do you think anyone buys that as a name, or is that just meant to be spooky?
Doesn't matter if it works. Anyway, make sure you bring a change of clothes. I think this is probably going to get a little messy. And with that, they both go walking off down the hall to where he came from. You can see that she has lifted her veil at this point, and she does have, while her complexion is somewhat darker, it is also paler than it should be. You can see that there are veins that are perceptible just beneath her skin. Her eyes have a very bloody yellowish sort of iris to them, and her fangs protrude just outside of her lips. Tips on the biggest one. And they go walking down to another set of stairs. These are actually, they don't curve, but they seem to just extend so far downwards at this gradient angle, and you can see that there are lanterns that actually light the way. And as you are getting towards the end of your 10 minutes, as they're walking down these pale marble steps, you can hear the sound of waves crashing on rock. And just as they are going down these steps and getting towards the bottom, you look out and you see a massive cavern. And it's hard to see as the light doesn't really cast that far outwards, but you can see the opening of the cavern just slightly, and you see just a sliver of moonlight on the other side. And again, that sound of water crashing against rock. And you can see the silhouettes of dozens of ships. And that is just as your scrying eye ends.
Wow. Isn't that interesting? And I will tell my companions everything that I have seen, holding nothing back.
I want to be sure about this, because you're, if you want to keep Renwick in or out of certain stuff, he is kind of a wiener. I get it.
Yeah.
Is he part of this interaction, or have you
That's a
put him off
really
to the
good
side?
question. I would defer to. I kind of want to defer to Saskia on this one.
I mean, I am more than fine leaving him in the room, because with my alarm up, I can tell whether or not anything has happened to him.
We've
while
also
I'm not looking.
It's also that thing of we have been wanting to include him on some things, but also I still don't necessarily trust him 100%.
Sure.
I think I'm okay leaving him out of something like this, because it's just raw information gathering,
and I wouldn't have known what I would have seen anyway, and so it wouldn't have been useful until
True.
So
I think I would prefer to like you said, maybe include him on higher level things, and then more granular things like this that might be sensitive in some way, because he is a little hapless. I don't know what he might say to people.
A little.
Gena, I just want you to roll me a luck check. This is just a flat D20. Yeah.
Okay. I roll so well. 12.
Okay.
It's the best I've rolled so far.
Okay. I'm really sorry. He is in the room. He's fine. He is eating shelled peanuts in the bed. He's just sitting on the side of it, and he is no bowl. He is just crunching shells, and so it's listen, when you're raised in certain religious orders, they don't really teach like social skills, and so he's I'm sorry, he is the real villain of
Anubia can attest to that.
I think Croak is absolutely swiping some peanuts every now and then.
Oh no.
Well, at least he didn't get carried off in the night by God knows what. Well, I don't know. Now I'm like, I don't know, do I want him around or not? Changed my entire outlook.
Let's go ahead and end there for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Thank you all for joining us for Harbingers. I am Derek Sordeus, he, him pronouns. I have been your GM, your game master, and your GC, your guiding compass, as these Harbies navigate the treacherous, even more treacherous, dark seas of Damaras. Thank you to this wonderful cast. Thank you to you for watching and joining us. I want to have these lovely people say more about themselves and where you can find more of them. Then I'm going to do some channel stuff, and we will wrap up for the night. So let's go ahead and go around. Abhishek, if you don't mind starting us out, where can we find more of your lovely self?
Good. Hey everyone, again, my name is Abhishek Batange. I use he, him pronouns. I have been playing your lovely badass Anubite warrior monk, Anubia, who is definitely feeling some ways about this submission right now. You can find me on the interwebs at Neon Raiden or Neon_Raiden, some variation of that sort of form, either on the bird site or on BlueSky. I am a voice actor, Twitter, TTRPG AP performer, lover of all things tokusatsu, so common writer to Super Sentai, rest in peace, I guess I should say Project Red now, or Ultraman. Yeah, I love, big fan of all those things. You can also find me at Abhishek Batange VO on Instagram. Don't really post it that often, I don't really have any projects there at the moment, but expect something's coming there soon, hopefully, fingers crossed. As for other projects that I'm in, I am currently not on anything at the moment, aside from here on Harbingers, so you can find me here every Friday playing Anubia. Yeah, that's about it.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Next up is Alex.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alex. I have had a wonderful time playing Desert A this evening. You can find me hanging out on Sword and Key in the Discord, post pictures of my dog, and also playing games and running games and scheming and plotting like a villain. And yeah, I'll be here for the remainder of Harbingers, and I'm having a blast.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Alex. Next up is LD.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lady Dame, or LD. You can find me everywhere that's important at the Lady Dame. Let's see. Right now, you can, of course, see me here on Fridays playing Fiach. And, testing out all her new fun tricks and trials and things. And it's fine. But you can also find me here on Tuesday nights playing Gate Night with my friends Derek and Shadow as we make our way through Baldur's Gate 3, which we are in endgame right now. We weren't able to play this last week, but still, it's very exciting that we're at this point. I will also be back here on Wednesday for part 2 of Our Queen Crumples that had to get moved for a couple of reasons actually. But we are planning on playing this upcoming Wednesday we've also pushed back the stream by an hour. It's always like, is it up or back? Whatever. We will be streaming that at 5 p.m. Pacific as opposed to 4 p.m. Pacific, again, due to some other reasons. But that's coming up. And then I am also the co-host of the podcast Monster Crush, which I get to do with Derek also, because he can't get rid of me. And we just had an episode come out for Father's Day. It's very good. I'm very pleased. I've missed getting to record. We had a lot to talk about. We had a lot to talk about, a lot of news, so you should go ahead and check that out if you like talking about cryptid creatures and monsters of myth and legend and whether or not they're smoochable. That's me. That's everything. Oh, and also I'm an affiliate for Friday Afternoon Tea. If you need tea things for various and sundry reasons, you can get 10% off any tea order using the code TheLadyDame.
Fantastic. Yeah, I don't really try very hard to get rid of LD, so
I know.
I don't mind it so much. Next up is Rack.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, viewers of all pronouns, I have been Rakolai or Rakolai, no preference on how you pronounce it. I'm just glad you're here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I have been free from scuff tonight, thankfully, and hopefully will hold up for next week. You can find me when I'm not here on Sword and Key on my own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Rakolai. I build model kits, so if you want to come by, watch me build some stuff, I usually stream on weekends. And yeah, it's a nice chill time. I post pictures of all my builds on Twitter and on BlueSky, so just search out my username and you'll most likely find me there.
Fantastic. And last but absolutely not least is Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena. Got stun locked by the Peanuts thing, admittedly. I've been playing Saskia, who now has to get peanut shells out of her bed, probably. Well, you can mostly find me here for now because the other stream ongoing campaign that I'm on is currently on break. I will eventually have more details about that later in the miniseries. Yeah, that's that.
Awesome. Thank you again to this wonderful cast. Thank you to Michael Sandoval for the artwork that you see on our promotional materials as well as on this stream. Check out his stuff at MIKYLSANDVOAL. That's Michael, not the way you think, and then Sandoval, but it's Sandoval. So thank you to him. He has a special channel on our Discord where you can see even more of his art, but also check him out on his socials. Thank you to Eva for running our production for this game. Very much appreciate that as well. And again, thank you to this fantastic cast. I'm Derek Sword. Again, I use he, him pronouns. If you are looking for me online, you can do that. That's fine, but I highly recommend checking out Sword and Key. Find all of Sword and Key stuff at beacons.ai/Sword and Key. At beacons.ai/Sword and Key, you can see all of our links in one neat, nice place. We have our socials for BlueSky and Instagram, as well as links to our Discord. If you want to hang out with a great community like ours, talk about cool games like this with cool people like us, or tons of other stuff. See pictures of Alex's dog. See Michael's artwork. It has everything. If you are looking for some of our discount codes, hey, we have those too. We have a number of wonderful affiliates, one of which we borrow from LD. But if you are looking for your perfect cup of tea, check out Friday Afternoon Tea, the gayest tea shop in the Pacific Northwest, during Pride, of course. But use code the Lady Dame for 10% off your order there. I personally recommend the official Sword and Tea, which Eva and I worked with Friday to help create. I think it's a perfect tea year-round. Great to make as an iced tea. Perfect in the winter as well. Goes great by itself or, with cream and sugar. However you take your tea, I think it's really good. I also recommend the Smut Tea, which LD helped create, which is spicy and lubricating. If you are looking for your perfect dice set, might I recommend Long Dog Dice. Jen with Long Dog Dice makes beautiful, perfect dice sets. This is the official Horizons Call D6, which has the Sword and Key logo on it. It's a vibrant shade of blue. LD there has the Fiach dice. You can pre-order the official Horizons Call dice or any of the Horizons Call character dice, or get your perfect dice set, all at Long Dog Dice. And when you do, use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first order. We also have our affiliate link, again, on beacons.ai/Sword and Key. Code Sword and Key, 10% off your first order, also works over at Eldritch Foundry for custom minis. No matter how weird and wild or normal and mild your TTRPG character might be, you can make a mini of them. Again, code Sword and Key for 10% off your first order, or if you're doing 3D printing, use our affiliate link, again on Beacons. That can get you a 3-month subscription for only $19.99. Unlimited STL files, pretty good deal. We also are affiliates with Hit Point Press. We have an affiliate link with them if you're going to be getting stuff for Humblewood or animated spell cards, or let's see, Heckna, If I Were a Lich Man, the Floral Dragons. They've got music, they've got minis, they've got plush, they've got comics, and of course they have tons and tons of TTRPG books and accessories. Check out all of it. Use our affiliate link when you do. If you are looking to donate towards a great cause, this game in particular plays in support of the Trans Latina Coalition, second A in Latina being the @ very important organization that we are supporting throughout Pride with a number of games, but this game will play beyond Pride, so we'll continue to raise money for them then. Thank you so much if you have been able to donate already. If you haven't been able to donate, that's okay. We only ask you be willing and able, both those things important together. If you don't have the funds sitting around, understandable. We always appreciate reposting and just spreading the word to help the cause as best as possible. We also have a number of other philanthropies that we support throughout the year, so you can find links to all of those also on Beacons. As LD mentioned, she and I record a podcast called Monster Crush. It is a bi-weekly bisexual panteratophilic podcast that celebrates cryptids, creatures, miscellaneous monsters from myth. Find it wherever podcasts are found. We did just have an episode come out. So check out our Daddy's Day episode. Give a listen to any of our well over 100 episodes now, so plenty of backlog. If you are, well, let's go over to the calendar actually. So tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific time is Horizon's Call. Harbies is a spin-off of Horizon's Call, so if you want to see where it all began, they are in the middle of a big fight with a big devil, and I have pulled out all the stops for this one. I did not give a shit about CRs for this one, so let's see if they make it out of this one. Well, who knows? But Proximus, our beloved Triton, both turned into a paladin again. Got a kiss, pretty great. Had a great speech. So it's perfect time for him to die, right? I don't know. We'll see. Check out Horizon's Call. Horizon's Call does play in support of Feeding America and plays every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. It also uses the 5e rule set. It's a nautical campaign, kind of piratey, and it's been going for years. So it is always a great time to jump in. On Sunday at 3 p.m. Pacific time is Redwood's Rumble Part 2. That is the Kids on Bike series that is also part of our Pride campaign. So check that out. That's being run by the incredible Valdrinth. After that is our next movie night. That's at 6 p.m. Pacific time on Sundays right now. We have our movie nights every other week. They are on our Discord. They're free. All you gotta do is be a part of it to be around. We are watching the Paddington movie because I've actually heard it has no right to be as good as it is. And so our next few movie nights are going to be the 3 Paddington movies. I don't know. We'll see what all the fuss is about. As LD mentioned, She, Shadow, and I play Gate Night, Baldur's Gate 3, at 7 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesday, so join us as we are in the endgame for that. And then on Wednesday, also as she mentioned, at 5 p.m. Pacific time, is the second part of Our Queen Crumbles. And then Harbingers will be back next Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. So, with all that, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for sticking around. We will see you sooner rather than later. And until then, take care of yourselves, take care of others, and fair winds, following seas, big stick. Bye, y'all.